What's going on, everybody? Welcome to month 4 of my MIA update in terms of using the mass immersion approach to learn Japanese. Real quick, I want to say at the beginning of this video, I want to thank my Patreons. I did launch a Patreon page. If you feel like something you want to support, I do have some perks. You can go over to patreon.com/Seabolt Speaks. I got a couple of things there, and I appreciate everybody who is on there already, especially without me really announcing it. So I do want to say that. So today is 4 months, and I just want to go over some of my stuff with you. Also, I get mocked a lot for wearing white t-shirts, so I figured, hey, I would rock on this. Since it shouldn't be too long of a video, I'm going to rock a wrestling t-shirt. It's one of my favorite wrestlers, John Wayne Murdoch, who is a fantastic wrestler. He does some deathmatch stuff as well. Super awesome dude. So there, go holler at John Wayne Murdoch. He's the man. So basically, let's just start. I'll start with my hours. We'll kind of work our way down. I'll go from hours to immersion, or hours to immersion to Anki, and just kind of go over anything. I do have some notes here also. You know, I'm not a big note guy, but these bigger videos, I need some information. There's too much information to say. So I started tracking on July the 6th my time that I was doing with Japanese. And the reason is because the 40-hour, 7-day language challenge started that Mark from Language Come Up introduced, which Mark is a Patreon of mine, and his link to his channel is down below. He just released a 1.5 year Russian update, so go check that out as well. So I started doing that, and the main reason was because I wanted to up my study. I wanted to, or up my time with, I use the general term study, but study and immersion, and I really wanted to start taking Japanese to the next level. And so I started that. And with that, I thought, if I can start doing this, after the first week, I was like, if I can start doing this, I'm going to see progress in Japanese like I never thought was possible. And again, from July the 6th, basically through yesterday, so through April 2nd, even though it's technically April 1st and 2nd count in towards month 5. But for the past 4 weeks, I have put in 41 hours and 32 minutes of study, and study includes Anki. If I'm doing some grammar study, for example, today I watched 2 Curedali videos on Japanese grammar. That would go under study. Stuff like that. Basically anything that's not immersion. Like Pimsleur, stuff like that. Immersion, I've spent 52 hours and 2 minutes immersing in Japanese. And I know that there's a lot of questions on what do you count as immersion, or what do you count, you know, whatever. And so basically my immersion is very simple. If I'm watching it and it's something I can see, that's immersion. I will count reading, but I don't read a lot. I don't count if it's just listening only. If it's listening only, doesn't matter how much I'm paying attention. Personally, I don't count that as active immersion. And I feel like that actually helps me just kind of get a better gauge from where I'm at. The thing I like about watching stuff and counting that as active immersion is the pictures kind of help tell the story. And you can kind of start picking up stuff as you go from there. And so that's just what I do. That puts my combined active total to 93 hours and 34 minutes, which I am incredibly happy about. 93 hours of Japanese in 4 weeks is tremendous. I remember, I think the first month that I did MIA, I did 45 hours of immersion, and that was in 30 days. So I've done 52 hours, and then I didn't do a whole lot of study outside of that. I did a little bit, but not near what I'm doing now. So I've 93 hours in a month is really, really good to me. In terms of active. Passive, I put in 74 hours and 21 minutes. And passive, again, is just if I'm listening. 99% of my passive comes at work. And I was doing, basically I would do the Pimsleur, and then I would take Nuke Marine's Trimsleur, and I would listen to that at work. That way it was comprehensible passive, which I have actually changed kind of my methodology on that, and that's just based on a Skype call that I had with Matt. But so 74 hours and 21 minutes of passive. And that brings up my grand total for the month to, or well, for the last 4 weeks to 167 hours and 55 minutes. And I couldn't be happier with that. I mean, I guess technically you could, obviously, if you hit, if I hit 200 hours or something, that'd be really cool. But I mean, just realistically, with me having a full-time job, a wife, and a son, I find that 167 hours, and even if you take out the passive, 93 hours of active study / immersion is incredible for somebody like me. And so that is my hours. In terms of immersion, I have come to the realization that anime is not as bad as I thought it was, which I never thought it was bad. It just wasn't for me. I found some anime that I really, really enjoy. I have finished watching. I watched the entire The Devil is a Part-Timer series, which was like 13 episodes. It's not a bunch, but I did watch that. I've watched 8 episodes of Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, which is really cool. I really like the theme song to that show, and it seems to be pretty cool. It's at least visually appealing. I've watched the first episode of Haikyuu, and I plan on watching more of it. I really, really enjoyed that. Psyche K, I've watched 8 episodes, and that's actually about where I've been for about 2 weeks. I just need to pick back up on it. I haven't watched as much of it because they speak really, really, really fast. And so I know that just comes with getting used to hearing the language and stuff like that, but I definitely need to get a little bit more into that because I like the art style and I like kind of just some of the stuff that happens in the show, and so I definitely need to get a little bit more acclimated and used to that in terms of fast speaking. And then recently, I did start another show, and that's because I started sentence mining, and I know that with sentence mining, I wanted to go into slice of life anime, so I googled slice of life anime, which The Devil is a Part-Timer is a slice of life, but I've already watched it, and the second result that popped up was Violet Evergarden, and so, which I think there's only 13 episodes of that, and so I've watched 2 episodes of that so far, and I've mined both of the episodes, but sentence mining, from where I just started, I'll probably save that for another video, just because it's just something that I've recently started and doesn't really have anything to do with month 4. But yeah, so Violet Evergarden, I started that, 2 episodes into that. And then obviously I'm still watching the YouTube stuff. I'm watching the Masuo games for the Animal Crossing, and I generally watch an Asuka channel video every day, which is the Mario Maker stuff, and I'll watch like Kitty Po. I really like, I don't know why, she'll like just cook food and talk the whole time, and it's just entertaining to me. And then I talk about it all the time, but I really like the Jackpot, like that group of people. They all have YouTube channels, and I think they all do. I don't know. It's just it's entertaining to me. So then that's realistically all that matters. And so that pretty much sums up my immersion. One thing I will say is in terms of where I'm at now versus where I was in April when I first started, my listening is better, but my listening has probably made a bigger increase from July 6th to now than it did from April 1st to July 5th, and that's just because of how much time I have been putting into the language, and that has no plans of stopping. I'm probably gonna, like, the 40-hour 7-day thing is probably, that's no longer just like, let me see if I can do that. That's just what my life is going to consist of now, and I'm having fun doing it. And I made the video in the past a couple days ago about how my mentality has changed and stuff like that. So in terms of Anki, I have my sentence deck now, but I can't really give you stats on that simply because I don't know where I'm at with that yet, but I do have Tango on there, and I have 417 cards left of that. I've been through over half the deck. I am answering the mature cards at a 100% rate, which is awesome. That's 50 of 50 cards. I have 50 mature cards, and so I feel really comfortable with that. And the way that I'm testing my Tango, I think I mentioned this in a past video, but the way that I'm testing my Tango is based on the reading. The reading pops up and the audio does not, and I see if I can read it. If I can read it, then I pass it. And if I understand it, obviously I pass it. If I can read it but not understand it, I fail it. And then if I can't read it but I still understand it when spoken, I still fail it. That's use that deck for understanding if I can read and if I can understand when spoken to. RTK, 58 cards left. That is almost done, and I'm really, really happy. I am answering the mature cards at an 88.89% pass rate. The 270 mature cards, I have answered 240 correctly, which I feel really, really satisfied with that. I know that you're supposed to shoot for anything above 85, so I think that that's, I mean, right where I need to be. I do think that, like, I'm understanding the benefit of RTK a little bit more because, you're right, my cat just sneezed. I'm understanding, like, when I read subtitles, which this is kind of getting a little bit into the future, but just over the past couple of days where I've been reading the subtitles with Learn Languages with Netflix, that way I can see if I can mine a sentence. I've noticed that there are a lot of kanji that I recognize, and if I recognize the kanji, it's actually easier for me to pick up the word because I can associate that kanji with it, even though I don't technically know how to pronounce the kanji until I see that word. So I really think that that's a huge benefit of RTK. I know that people go back and forth on it, but now that I'm getting into sentence mining and where more of my time is spent with immersion than study, so to speak, I feel like I feel like the benefits right now outweigh the negatives of it. So that's going pretty good. I think that is about it. I mean, I can't speak Japanese or anything like that. Like that's, you know, I just don't think that that's really anything that I can do right now, and I'm not overly concerned about it. One thing I did realize when I was doing, again, this is kind of a foreshadowing a little bit for next month, even though we're only a couple days into this month, but one thing I noticed is when I'm reading these sentences, trying to see if I can mine the sentence, there's a lot more stuff that I understand if I just slow it down and look at it and say, oh, okay, I actually know what this means. Oh, I actually know what this means, versus just kind of letting it go in one ear out the other, even if I'm paying attention, like seeing the words just kind of, oh yeah, no, I get it. So, and I know that's just part of the process. So that makes me feel really, really good. In terms of, I know that everybody likes the, oh, what percentage can you understand? It's probably too low to even tell, but I would say, I know it's 4 months and everybody wants to hear, oh, I can understand 50%, but I would say a good 5% maybe, just words here or there. And that doesn't mean I understand the sense. It just means I can pick out words. That's just because you learn the most common words. But that's you know, that's going to increase. And I know that just as I learn more, I'm going to be able to understand more. And I understand that I'll be able to understand more in context because I'll have a bigger base vocabulary. And so that number will just continue to kind of snowball and I will learn more and more. So I think that's pretty much it for the past 4 months. Overall, I feel really good. You know, if I could do things a little bit differently from the beginning, I probably would have, especially with me having a little bit more of a base in Japanese than some people starting MIA, I probably would have added vocabulary a little bit sooner. But I also understand that this is a marathon and not a sprint, which is the most cliche thing to say, but it's true. But that's pretty much where I'm at. I feel really, really good. I think things are going really good, and I don't plan on stopping, and I'm just feeling really, really, just overall, just really enthralled with Japanese right now, and I feel like my abilities, I can feel them getting better, slowly but surely. So if I didn't answer anything that you may have a question on, let me know in the description. Nope, not in the description, in the comments down below, and I will try to answer them in the comments. Thank you all for watching. Also, I'm going to pop up a thing right here. Thanks to my Patreons. I launched the Patreon and I haven't really even said anything about it. I did tweet it, but I haven't really overly mentioned it. And I've already had some people sign up, which is really, really cool. But thank you to all the Patreons that have jumped on so far, the patrons that have jumped on so far. I really, really appreciate it. And if you want to support that, you can do that at patreon.com/SeaboltSpeaks. At least go check it out and see if there's anything you're interested in. And you can join the Discord server as well, which is in the description, as well as the links to both of the people who are on the perk for this. Go check out their YouTube channels as well, which I will link in the description below, so go check that out. So thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I look forward to talking to you again very, very soon. I will see you guys in the next video.